Back in the 50s, parents worried about smoking, chewing gum, and the omnipresent threat of nuclear annihilation. In the 80s, parents added worries about drugs, sex, and of course, nuclear annihilation. Now it's the 10s. There's still deadly smoke, deadly drugs, deadly VDs, deadly nukes, and although chewing gum's now healthy, the internet has provided a free arena for children of all ages, sometimes for good, and sometimes not.
Proverbs 2, verses 6 through 8. For the Lord gives wisdom, and from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds victory in store for the upright. He is a shield to those whose walk is blameless, for he guards the course of the just and protects the way of the faithful ones. We need wisdom as children of God and to raise up our children to be godly children. The increasing influence of media on our lives is tremendous. There's exciting possibilities with the fast-paced technology, but there's also tremendous challenges. We face tremendous obstacles in terms of protecting our children, ourselves, our home, our minds, our hearts, our very being. So we have to be informed. Four out of 5 children have internet access in their homes. 4 out of 5. 50% of children from 8 to 11 have their own cell phone. And 8 out of 10 12 to 15-year-olds have their own cell phone. 71% of 12 to 15-year-olds use unsupervised internet at home. 2/3 of households have TVs on during meal times. And 70% of kids have TVs in their own room. 1/3 of kids have computer with internet access in their own bedroom. Is it bad or good for kids 8 to 18 to spend most of their waking hours outside of school on an electronic device? Is it okay that parents have no idea of what their children are doing online? It's called the hidden life of youth. And parents need to do more to protect them, their children, from inappropriate content and unacceptable behavior that they see online. Parents need to support positive online experiences. Our kids are actually accessing 11 hours of media in a 7.5-hour time frame. The time spent on Facebook has increased 700% from last year. Adults, we're talking about you too. There are support groups and accountability partners now for those who are struggling with internet addiction. 90% of our children accidentally view pornography. But studies also show a shocking statistic. Kids are viewing porn approximately 1 hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours a week. Kids 12 to 17 years old are the biggest group accessing internet pornography. 1 in 7 children have been sexually solicited online. Parents, in the same way we teach our children to eat right, brush their teeth, go to bed, we have to provide structures that protect our children from resources that are inappropriate, from material that are destructive to mind and spirit and body. We have to set up boundaries in our home with media. We have to have consumption rules. The Kaiser study reveals that families who curb their children's use of media have kids who do better in school. They're healthier, happier, and relate more warmly, the study says, to their families. We're not just talking about setting limits, but spending time with our children to have these kind of results. Proverbs 6:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Keep vigilant watch over your heart. You see, that's where life begins. The lure of the screen is too much for children. It's too much for adults. And so we have to set up structures that limit and boundaries on what's coming in, into the mind, into the heart, into the home. Where do we spend our time? Looking and listening. What are we listening to? And the mind informs our hearts. So whatever we're hearing and looking at informs every aspect of our being.
Lately, I have had to use the internet a lot more for school to do research for papers and stuff, but the only thing is, I have 2 tabs usually. I have one for my research and then one for Facebook, and so, but I'm mostly on my Facebook. I always have to have my cell phone with me, you know, it's always on in my pocket. I always have it, no matter what, because if I don't have it, I feel like I'm not in tune with my friends. I'm just like out of the loop.
Oh, so how many texts do you say you do a day?
A day, maybe about like 500 or more.
Like a lot of people I know will get on chat rooms and stuff and talk to people, you know, because they meet a lot of new friends on there and stuff, people they didn't know before.
I know a couple people that they have 2 Facebooks, one that their parents know and check, so they do all the good stuff on there, and then you have the other Facebook page.
I mean, there's people that are 9, 10 that have Facebooks, and they might say that they're 15 or 16.
Sometimes they go and they like try to meet up with them, you know, which I don't know about that, but a lot of people will do it.
My friend actually came over once, and my mom's laptop has a webcam. And so, you know, we're sitting there and she's like, hey, why don't we go on this thing called chatroulette.com, you know? You get to meet people all over the world, and if you don't want to talk to them, you just hit next. It was kind of cool to see everybody that was on there and all the different people, but at the same time, I was like, this one guy said he was in Virginia and in Richmond, and we were like, and she said that we lived near there. I'm just like, that's not that smart, so she definitely put herself in a risky situation there.
My mom has a password on there, but you know, she lets me get on there, and they don't care what I get on. I just do whatever. It doesn't matter to them, really. And I mean, no one our age, no one's parents sit there and watch them on the computer. I mean, you just do what you want on it, you know.
They've got a couple of blocks. They've got this one called McAfee, and there's an AVI block that people have. I mean, people can still get around it though. I mean, there's ways to do it.
You can get around them really easily. Most people just get on there and, I mean, sometimes, but not usually. You can get around it, so.
Teenagers are smarter than they're given credit for a lot. I mean, they know how to change the system. They know that they can do what they want if they just find a way to.
I know a lot of people that look at porn. Like, it says you have to be 18 or older to get on there, but you don't have to. You can just click it.
So you can open one tab and then have another one, and whenever your parents walk by, what are you doing? You switch it really fast, and they can't really see at the bottom.
I have a few friends that get kind of, you know, really, really attached to the computer, and they're always putting themselves in danger with stuff like that, but I mean, I guess since nothing really bad ever happens, they just keep doing it.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal, like, it doesn't matter really, but I wouldn't say addicted, but they look at it a lot, you know. But, I mean, you can't help it. It's kind of normal. It's not really a big deal, I don't think.
I've got to take this, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Hello? Yeah.
It's
Okay.
It's people's own choice, so they get to do what they want. I mean, I try and stay away, try and keep it as professional as I can, because in the future, it could come back to bite me in the butt.